All right, hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I was getting trying to clean off the mouse pad real quick. I was like, God, there's stuff like all over it. Gotta love kids. Gotta love kids. So let me know if the sound is okay. Looks like you guys can hear me. But again, I don't know what comes through your sound side. So please let me know if the sound quality is good today. Should be. Like I said, I have the good mic on, and the color is in the right spot. So anyway, yeah, CPI plus 1 day, and then wait, where is it? I forgot to click the button. Wrong window. PPI also came in, and again, PPI's numbers were not only less, but even more so. Right, the PPI numbers, which is interesting because I think this throws up a conflicting signal because we know that labor costs are high, but the cost magically was able to come down. And again, maybe that's because of gas with shipping costs and things like that. Like there is that aspect of it as well. But with labor costs higher, it's interesting read here that the PPI went down so much, right? It went down so much. Yeah, yeah. So, and again, the worst things out there were, again, food costs are typically not related to manufacturing. So that's one of the aspects of it too. That again, obviously, food costs are extremely high right now. So, but yeah, big things. And again, I think this is what was expected. I think the market had this already factored in there. And again, with it being again negative again, this should again lead us to somewhat of a green day or at least green movement today. With us being able to trade it. So, with that said, hold on. Oh God, I'm like trying to I don't even know what you call it. De-droolify, if that's a word. De-droolify. Kip grabs everything, goes right into his mouth, and it's like, oh God, what is this? It's like, oh, that's drool. So I'm just trying to get. Oh man, 1 sec. There we go. All right, sorry about that. It's like, oh God, this like puddle of drool right here. I'm like, what are you doing, Kip? Yeah, I know it's gross, but if you have kids, you understand exactly what I mean here. So. Anyway, again, overall positive for the market. We still have to, see what the Fed has to say, right? Again, forecast still about inflation. Again, this is coming down, but we haven't seen everything else, drop. Besides that, in the overnight, actually, I guess the rest of today, we have natural gas storage coming in. That's been big. Unemployment came in basically as expected. It came in at 248 last time, which is kind of funny that they were like, oh, it's 260. No, just kidding. Just kidding. It was 248. And again, I don't understand how they get the unemployment claims wrong. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, all right, how many did we receive? Sold, right? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how they missed those things. And then we have some bonds later on today, and then we're pretty much good for the day. Tomorrow morning, we do have the GDP numbers out of the UK. Now they're expected to be bad. I think they will come in as negative. I think they will be down. Obviously, we know that the UK, they basically said, listen, we're kind of in a recession. We had to raise interest rates. Our inflation was at 9.6, higher than what we are in the United States, and like we needed, they needed to do something to kind of get it under control. So, obviously. It's not what everybody wants to hear, right? Recession, but it is one of those things that does occur. It's not unhealthy. It's not bad. It's, sometimes you got it's kind of like a forest, right? You need a forest fire to get rid of all the dead stuff, right? So it kind of works out the same way with economy. So everybody expected it. And actually, we'll just click this down. We don't need all those for tomorrow. And then we have the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment expected to tick up a little bit. I actually don't know if this one will tick up. Like I said, it's nice that like the labor costs and stuff are down, but is there really, was there really like a major change? Like, I don't know. Do people feel that there's a change? I mean, the talk is still all about recession, all about recession, all about recession. So, is there really, going to be a change? I don't know, so I think that this could lead to a little bit of disappointment, but I think a lot of the play is going to be in the pound and how bad the pound is. Everybody knows that the pound is expected to be bad. So, when we talk about is it forecast in the system already, I feel like the answer to this one is kind of like, yeah, kind of is. I feel like it's already kind of factored in, but it could be worse than expected. Maybe it's not going to be as bad. Maybe they're too negative, and we'll see a little bit of a push there. But again, dollar weakness across the board is the name of the game for this morning. Should lead us to, again, on a fundamental basis at least, another type of green day, right? A green day. Just for fundamental reasons, nothing, not because of anything else beyond that. All right. yeah, that's it. Let's go. Let's go into the charts. I mean, not much. Oh, also remember again, just as a reminder, will not be here tomorrow. I have mom's chemo at the same time, so I will be over there with her, juggling children and all the other fun stuff that's associated with it. So this will be the last one for the week, and then we'll be back on Monday. Let's go over here. VIX. Obviously, after yesterday, big smash down, and we didn't have as big a one today. We didn't really have the movement, right? Which is interesting. It just goes to show you how many people don't really understand what PPI is and kind of the figure, that where it kind of factors into things, right? So, yeah, I would say right now, again, having this VIX, again, up 0.15% is up, it's super, super low, right? I mean, this should be positive. And again, all the indices are reacting accordingly to it. Looking at the dollar, you can see the dollar took the big massive smash. It started to retrace back up again. And magically, look at that. European session started to drive it back down, a little bit of a pickup again, and then drove it back down again. And unlike yesterday, where we saw the movement right ahead of time, you got that kind of 8:30 window, and the 8 really kind of drove it down, but really not much movement. Right. I mean, you almost could say, hey, listen, there's a zone there, and it based and then kind of drove it down at 8 o'clock. And then it was sitting down there like, oh, wouldn't that have popped? Kind of. But again, it was one of those things that I was already expected to be negative. And you can see it, compared to yesterday, huge movement. Today, not so much. And again, looking at that data, that's quite a miss. It's technically a bigger miss. I mean, even the core almost coming back to zero is good. I mean, it's still increasing, which sucks, right? But again, overall, and it's not bad. And again, this is excluding, yeah. This is the one that really matters. Well, depending on who you talk to, right? Excluding food and energy. But again, there's the cost of this is the labor cost piece. Right, because you're excluding the food and energy. Not that there's a food cost in a lot of the the manufacture of goods and services, but obviously there's some to it. Again, this is what we'd like to see negative, not this. This is just the overall one. And again, we know that this has energy costs in there, so kind of expected. And again, obviously no movement because of it. So let's go across and kind of see where we ended up with things. As you can see, we never got the retracement. We were looking for that dollar strength to come back in, and we did. We got it basically right at noon, right, is when it started to pull back again. So we were, yesterday we were talking. We're like, listen, we're right at that 10:30 mark. This is where it should kick in. We knew we didn't really have any like levels there, but that was the time we were looking for the reversal. It did come in later on though. It did come in at about 11:30. Actually, I guess 10:30 is right here. 10:30 is right here. So between 10:30 and 1 is where it stabilized, and then it pulled back down again. I don't think it came. Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't even back to a 23.6. So we did not get the full reversal on there yet. I'd say right now, let's look for a level higher. And we knew we were kind of dealing with this, and I guess this is kind of what we're dealing with right now. There's the zone right there that we just kind of bounced off of. Really, this is what we're dealing with right now. There's not a lot of selling action in there. There's obviously something much, much higher. But right now, it looks like 71.87 is going to be the next area where there's potentially some sellers coming in. And again, nothing, right? There's no, and there's little piece here, which that's kind of, again, that's what we just literally banked off of right now. And again, we pull this back up again. I would say if there is a reversal today, there is probably a buying opportunity in here. I mean, look at this. You're going to have the 23.6 people stepping in. There is area basing where it hit it. It didn't go as low and then took off from it. So there may actually be a buying opportunity today if we can get down to this level. And again, this is down to the 23.6. It is coming up to right around the 70, 72 level mark. So again, if we can get a pullback, and again, unfortunately, besides the zone right here, and we kind of hit it and have not basing below it, which typically is a sign that it's going to break. Right now, we got about another 50 pips before we run into sellers. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm like already dying. It's going to be a rough couple days. I'm actually, we have our annual Ocean City tournament tomorrow. It starts today. So I'm literally noon. I'm going down to Ocean City, playing a game and driving back. Tomorrow, I have my mom's chemo. Saturday morning, driving back to Ocean City, playing 2 games, coming back again. So the next 3 days are going to be rough. And I'm already yawning, so I'm in so much trouble. But with this pushing higher, I would say that this is probably most likely going to break 78, and I'll put it up here just so you guys can see it. We have an alert. It's dotted up there at 71.86. It's a level we've talked about in the past. But if we do any get type of reversal back down again, you will see technical traders coming in at the 23.6, and that's at 70.72. Aussie yen. Talk about chop, chop, chop. Look at this zone. Chop, 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 chop. We talked yesterday. we're like, here's the 1030 mark right here. We talked about where reversals occur. There's the 1030. It did. It reversed back up. Grabbed that same level again, and this level's been rock solid. I mean, we've like hit it. I mean, this thing has been just smashed left and right. But we did get the 1030 reversal tomorrow, and then really just flatlined. This one actually, can you see right now? 0.00. Right there you go. 0.1 flying now. No trend. Right? No trend whatsoever in this one. So, yeah, I would say just because we've seen so much selling coming in at this like kind of 93.25, 93.30, I would say probably a little bit more bearish. And again, we got to find those sellers in the Aussie dollar before this turns and rolls. But really, we talked about, getting up to 94.76 or getting down to and starting to base at 93.35 and nothing, right? I mean, literally 1030 was the reversal point, and that same level over here has just been ding, 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 ding. I mean, this is like, it's like a brick wall at this point, right? But again, we all know that brick walls eventually do fail. It is pretty much on its way out, I think. Like I said, it's hit it a bunch of times, and it's there. I think any real kind of great data, I think this one falters finally. I think it is almost there, right? It's nice to say that this will last forever, but again, I feel like it is. It's at the end of its life cycle. Right, it's just smashed through so many times. It's not a psychological level. There's no 4-hour zones there. It's been near term, but again, those things cannot, they don't last forever. So, yeah, so I'd say bearish, but really until we hit 2 of these triggers, it's really just kind of a wait and see type attitude, right? Euro dollar. So we did get the pullback, and we mentioned yesterday maybe a pullback in here, like maybe, right? We did get a pullback back down again. It kicked in eventually. Let's see, the 1030 time frame was right there. So we missed it by 1 candle, right? Actually, let's see. There's 1030. Yeah, the 11 is the red. So we missed it by 1 candle, the reversal. And we said, listen, we got to find the top on this one. We get off at 1030, and that's exactly where it was. And again, we missed it by 1. It went a little bit higher. How many more pips did it go from the time that it closed? 13 pips. So, but it turned and rolled, and you can see based, lowered, based again. So, I mean, obviously, definitely been an area that it likes chopping through. We can actually shrink that to that level right there. Let's see. Don't need this anymore. Do I want to take that all the way up? I guess we can. Yeah, I guess we can. Yeah, because the 100 goes back up. So actually, look at that. It's reversal yesterday. We did mention this yesterday that the reversal was going to be right at the 50, and it did. That's where its reversal was. Got one up here. I'd say this is in an interesting spot just because, again, we are at the top. We are having some problems with it. U.S. session is in. The news is out. Everybody knows what it is. So, again, if we start talking about, hey, listen, we're still potentially, doing it. It is in an area. I mean, it does justify a weaker dollar, but you're going to see that, again, we weren't really doing much with it. How big of a push was that from yesterday? Yeah, it's an 82 pip drop on that one. Obviously in an uptrend. Looking for a decent pullback, and again, this is just that old level. Not really taking any. I wouldn't take any trades off of this level, but you can see based, pulled back and based. What is above that? Yeah, we're in a racetrack. Look at this right here. See, right above this line. That line's right here, more or less the same. It's a 50% retracement. What's the risk on this? 18. It is a little bit far. I'm almost looking at this one right now, guys, and wondering if we pop through the top side of this one. Use this level of risk here and then proceed to go higher. You have a meeting? Okay. All right. So we got Kipser, guys. So we make it a little bit loud in here. Your 1 of 3 is only sitting right there, right? So again, if we do not have a reversal today, I'd say keep this one on your radar. I think that's pretty decent, and it'll kind of go into, again, the whole dollar story rolling into Friday. But a break of 103.67, or I'm sorry, 69, 104, I'm sorry, 103.70 would work. What? What? You going to get Sophie? Yeah, I'd say, again, look for a long on this one. Again, we're in an uptrend. If we get any type of pullback, and again, that pullback may be here, it may be back down here again. There is some reasons to buy here, but we need to chop through this zone, and we got to break through 103.54. Look for this to go long. Eventual profit targets at 104.59. We'll go to there. Euro pound. So euro pound. This kicked in at 1 o'clock. This hit at what? Actually, 2 o'clock. 1:30, 2 o'clock. We talked about that being the profit target. We literally dinged that right to the. I mean, it literally came down and just touched it. We hit the first one and kind of pulled back again, and then again we talked about being really kind of a good area to go to. I was kind of hoping it did it a little bit later than that, but it didn't. European session kicked in here, and we just banged off that zone right there. So this one we don't need. Again, we're flirting with the 50 right now. So that profit target got hit. That one did as well. Let's extend this across. Let's see. Do we have some technical traders coming in? Not really. Yeah, buddy. I don't know if you guys can hear him or not. The noise canceling is working, but yeah, look at that. Right there at the 50. Yeah, that. Looks like you can kind of hear him, maybe? I don't know. There is noise canceling on it. I'm not sure if you guys can hear him babbling or not. If so, I apologize. He's being cute, though. It's better than him crying right now. So I'll go with the happy babble. What? Yeah. So kind of the same thing on this one. Again, we've seen some European strength versus the dollar. We know that the pound is inherently weak at this point. I like to see it break through. And again, this is a 50% and the 61.8 is all the way up top again. This one kind of looks very similar. I mean, again, we've hit it. We've kind of hit it twice at this point. We've hit it one more time. It's still technically fresh, and it is a 50% retracement level. It is flirting with that right now. But you can see we're building buyers up, right? The impulse of the correction, the impulse of correction, the impulse again. If we hit and bounce again, there could be a little bit of a bounce and then higher. So I would say this one is very, very similar to the euro dollar. If we get a break above 84.76, look for this one to go all the way up to 85. It's only 25 pips on there. So it's not huge, but the euro pound tends not to be as much of a mover. With all this upward momentum, again, there is profit taking, but I would say that's a pretty decent profit taking run there. It did go past the 23.6. So again, we may take one more bounce, but I think on this one, if we can get just a little bit of basing, a little bit of a pop, I think, again, we run this back up to 85. And again, potentially before the end of the week. So it is still, it is still in the cards. What? Here. You want this? Here. There we go. There we go. We'll see how long. See how long he's in his extra saucer. Yeah. I need those for 12-year-olds. But anyway, there we go. So euro yen. So again, euro yen, we're seeing this continue to push down, and it did. Actually, it looks like we just tagged our profit target just within the last half hour. We talked about 136.36 yesterday being the target, and yesterday we were sitting right here. I would say that this, not really had a reversal, but it literally started the chop back and forth inside of a zone. And then again, the Europeans today at 5:30, opened here, shot it up, 5:30 reversal, hit areas of sellers and turned and immediately came down and finally grabbed that profit target. So, these areas are out now. I can remove a bunch of this stuff. Let's clean this chart up a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. All right. All right. So, obviously, we have to talk about this area and kind of respect it at this point. That one is out. Got to talk about it. It has been here 4 times. I mean, if there's the original, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. The next time it should break through. I think if we are able to get up and we are able to see this European strength versus the yen, I would say probably the same idea with a Harry Potter trade. Something a little bit on the long side. And again, we got to see kind of where the level of risk is going to be, but most likely there. Wow, I almost hit that dead on. Yes, this is a racetrack. There is a little bit of a hiccup, and again, that's right where the 1 to 3 target is, but it does have the ability to run, I think, a little bit higher, pushing it all the way up to here, right? going up to 138.32. Again, not many people, and again, this one, you may actually want to take this off a little bit early. Taking profit on this one should occur approximately right there. So that would be 138.28-ish on the top side. And again, we got to see if we can break through. It may hit one more time and bounce. Like I said, typically we are not taking a short trade on the fourth hit. Typically, you're looking for a break of the zone finally. And if we look to see the other side, again, racetrack higher. So again, third pair where we have European strength kind of showing itself with continuation patterns. But again, this one kind of, I would say it's not straight. I can tell you it's not straight. I was like, why is it not? I was like, look at this, 162 right there. And you can see that it blew right past it. I was like, why is it angled? But now it's even, and you can see it went past that level. So again, profit taking. Right, one of those questions that people get: how do I know when to get out of a trade? Well, there's certain signs. Again, not mystical numbers, certain signs. And again, look at that. Nice little roll right on a profit target. So again, I'd look for long in this one. It's not there yet. If we do turn and roll, I think I'd wait till we get a new established base. There's a level here, but look at this: chop through, chop through, chop through, chop through, chop through. Pretty ugly, not really super clean. And again, if we can get down in here into this 135.50-ish level, that's going to be a psychological level. And technically, that's the old. Actually, I guess I should reverse this now. Did we get up? No, we can get the 61.8 yet. Let's see. Yeah, this is what scares me about it. So it is, you can see it is at the 50, right? All this in here, but it's bing, boom, 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 boom. And it's right at the 50. So, I think that's a keep. It's a watch on your radar. I think if you're short, I think look for a profit target down here. Actually, where's it at? 135.89. So if you are maintaining this one short, you're holding it, or if you want to play it off this, if you can get a red, green, red off that level, sure, you could take that one. It's quite a run if you can get down there. Yeah, it's 107, so it's a decent runner. But if you do get short, again, there's probably going to be some selling coming in at 136. If you're looking for two profit targets, again, you can set yourself with a profit target. Ooh, that's gigantic. No, one of those. Whoops. All right, I'm gonna take. It's not letting me grab either one. Wow, I can't grab either one. Oh, there we go. That's a profit 2 is down here. Profit 1 is there. Okay, if you're looking for two profit targets. If you take a short off of this. And again, if you do get a red, green, red coming out of that zone, yeah, that'll confirm that you are back in a downtrend again, and it just continues, this which is a retracement back again. So, those are the two options. Again, depending on what time we hit them. I'll put this over here, mark that. Again, a break of 137.18. Look for a base above a pullback and then go long, taking advantage of the racetrack. Again, two targets. You could set them if you want. One at the 1 to 3, one at the 138.28 is going to be the second area where sellers come in. To the downside, again, if we go up and get a red, green, red, confirming it that, hey, listen, it's establishing a new trend back to the downside. I think 136.36 and 135.89 are going to be two levels you want to make sure that you get some profit out of. Pound dollar. So, had a bit of retracement, and again, this one kicked in right at 10:30, 11 o'clock. We did touch the 78, so again, we can remove that. Don't need it. We can throw it on the other side, though. We're going to put it there to there. And again, those poor guys, look at that. They got really excited when it came back to the 23.6. It's like, oh, yeah! And then it's like, oh, God. And then they got out of it, and then it's just literally going sideways. So, pound is showing a little bit more weakness. It looks very similar to the euro, right? We got a level just above. And again, it's a tested level. Dropped at base that came back and then kind of got slammed down again. So, again, if you're looking for something here short for the pound, there is a level sitting right above at 122.57. Overall, I think this 50% target is definitely one you need to watch out for. We'll change that to not blue. That's the Nadex color. Just purple, right? I think that's a level you need to watch. It's an old level in there. We don't need this now. This one was out. Whoops, not that. Let's take this out. That's done. We're going to leave this here, but we're going to turn this yellow. How much space does that have there? Oh, it's only 30. Wait, is that 10? Oh, buddy. He's getting pissed. 12. Pencil trade there as well. Potential pound dollar short there. And again, this is dollar strength coming back in. It did pull about halfway and then gave us a decent base and then kind of mirrored its bottom. And you could say, yeah, look, it's a double bottom. Kind of, not, 100%, but then it tested. So we know there's buyers there. But when it eventually does come down and break this level, there is a 1 to 3 here that'll put you right around the 50% retracement level. There is no technical buyers there. We can't see them. They don't come in. And again, the overall profit target should be sitting right here. But because this is a 50% retracement and it's an old level here that was confirmed, you probably want to make sure that you get, start capturing profit a little bit early, right? Definitely before the 50, but people will be looking for that 50% run. So I'd say if this gets up to 122.57, there's probably a nice rollover. If it does come down and it breaks through 121.84, there is also probably a level there. Here, buddy, with this. What's that? Yeah, does it make noise? All right, pound yen. So pound yen continuing to deteriorate. We've been drawing this one, trying to find more entries into it. We are getting up to a level right now. We did mention yesterday that we had a little bit of a profit target where we had buyers coming in, and that's kind of what we just bounced off of right now. Again, an 830 turn on this one. This is the yen that's turning this one. But in the overall downtrend of this, we're looking for a base down here. We obviously don't have it yet because it bounced through. So, I mean, it's kind of has not happened yet. But when you have people taking yesterday's explosion down, again, this is an easy fib draw that most people should be able to draw. It's kind of a high to low in recent terms. We are kind of coming up right now, and we are touching a 23.6, right? So there will be people looking to take this one in, and if you look at the pound dollar, you can say, hey, listen, we're close to a level. We're kind of thinking, hey, it's about time to short. We're high on the curve for this one. This one also is just pulled back and is now we're entering the zone. So if the pound yen and the pound dollar can kind of get on the same page, we're getting close to an area. I think another one to point out, though, is there is a level right here, and this one is a little bit more confirmed, and it's up at the 50. So maybe instead of this 23.6, it may go up all the way up to the 50%. Because again, it is a basing level, confirmed, and barely touched it and exploded to the downside. So 162.40, I would say that this would be one of those ones that you kind of want to look at as an alert. Again, this is more of a supply and demand, and then it's confirmed with 1 of 3's line right there. I had it on, and then right there, right there. Actually, I'm gonna throw an alert on this one. Kind of like how this one's set up. Add alert. 50% fib. There we go. So yeah, again, it is 10:30ish. This is where it would, this is an ideal scenario where it pulls back to this level. The risk on it is only 14. Actually, we could shrink it a little bit. It's there. There we go. So again, we will get some help right now. But I think either of those two is decent. I do like the 162.40. That would coincide with us getting up. And if this was just a little bit higher, like how close is it? It's only 12 pips. It's just right there. Can you just go? Like if we can get this in a selling zone and this in a selling zone without breaking through the top, it's like, yes, that's what we're looking for. Double, right? And again, if we break that 162.40. But yeah, I like this 162.40, particularly if that's going to be the bottom. So again, overall short that one. All right, so we talked yesterday about that 10:30 mark. Again, this is only down, what is it? 67. Again, it's continued dollar weakness. Right now, this is a combination of two things. It is oil being higher and obviously dollar weakness, right? So this is, it should technically be more than this. Profit target was hit yesterday, and we mentioned that. We can pull this off now. There's our 10:30 reversal. It didn't really do much. It just kind of stabilized there. And again, you can see how much space this has. Let's remove it, get kind of a clean look on this one. We're going to take this and run from here down, right? All right, so kind of gives us something to the 23. It's all right. There is probably something hidden in there, but we're going to leave that there, turn that yellow. Downside, let's see. What are we running into? Yeah, we're kind of hitting this right now. There is a level, and I don't love this level, just so everybody's clear. I don't love this level. At base came down, and we kind of bracketed it off. Really, until we get down to 25.70, there's nothing that I'm like really super in love with. But 25.70 is quite a big drop to the downside. So I would say right now, if you can get short this position, I think that's a decent call. And again, we may not even get the pullback as it continues to kind of lower. And again, anywhere in this range, you're seeing that 23.6 number is in. Question is, do we make it through 10:30? What happens with the dollar today? Will we see a true reversal in it? Maybe, maybe not, but I think 127 is probably the target today. Again, that's another 33 pips to the downside. As far as buying areas, I mean, this is what we're dealing with right now. There is a chop right here where it goes up, pops, and goes, and it's like there's a hiccup there, but then nothing really till we get down to 125.70. So there is a bit of room to run in this one. And again, if we continue to get horrible dollar-based news, and again, oil continues to kind of grind higher, this one should bring its way back down again. Can we make 125? I like 125, but I don't think we can. I think it's going to be a little bit harder. I think they will say something to kind of stabilize the dollar. Yeah, I think they'll stabilize the dollar before that one, has an opportunity to go. Buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Here, take Sophie. Here, Sophie. Here, eat Sophie's face. Go ahead. Sophie, just so you guys know, Sophie is the squeaky toy giraffe. It's like a teething toy. Kip had 2 bottom teeth when he went to Canada, and he came back with 6. So he has 4 on the top now that are like all half grown in, and his 2 on the bottom, they're not quite grown in, but close there. But yeah, he went from 2 to 4 in a 2-week, or 2 to 6 in a 4-week period of time. So yeah, we chew Sophie's face often. Get Sophie. Anyway, yeah, so again, still bearish on dollar CAD. All the fundamental factors out there to drive it down again. And when you're looking to see what the run-up was, it's not the best run. I mean, there could be, potentially there's a Harry Potter here, but this zone really kind of ruins it for me. That could be where it bounces off of, but the way that this form where it's up, down, up, and then over, it's like, and it's a 20 pip zone. I'm not taking a 20 pip zone. So yeah, not happening. But yeah, I think this one comes down. And again, we may stabilize. 127 is going to be a psychological level, being the 2 zeros. That could actually even potentially be a bounce point. I mean, we may have this come down and tag it here like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. As I said, it's got another 30 pips to go. It's 30-minute ATR is only 11, so it's saying that it's at least 3 away. It will slow down during lunch. Question is, are we going to, kind of deaden over here at 10:30, and then if the dollar starts creaking back up again? And if we do that, there could be a case made that, again, if that pulls back up to the 23.6 right here at 127.87, that we go ahead and take it short. So a few different areas in this one, but it is definitely not my favorite of all positions right now. 128.70 is right around where that level on the 23.6 is. Dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss just went down. Again, we did tag yesterday. We talked about it. Here was the 10:30 is right here. Right there. 10:30 missed the bottom by just a little tiny bit. Again, 10:30 at 94. Again, looking for this to kind of go higher, right? It did. It rolled. It went up. Again, 10:30 reversal this morning, and it really missed it by just a little bit. Let's see. 3 o'clock is right there. So there's the 3 o'clock candle. Whoops, I don't need that big. God, I'm off today on my my drawing. Right there, right? Nope. That's why I was cleaning the mouse. Right there is where the European session started. So again, straight up, they've driven it straight down. Kind of the same feeling as the dollar CAD. At this point, I feel like probably a little bit of dollar strength coming in. Again, the data isn't there to really justify it, but I don't think they're just going to be like, that's it, we're going to wait and see now. We've solved all our inflation problems. I just don't feel like that's what Powell's going to say. Last week it was about this is going to be a long process. It's going to take a year or 2 years to get things back to normal. I highly doubt one reading is going to change all of that. So I do feel that I do feel that they are going to raise interest rates one more time to kind of get it more under control. Yeah, I'll put it this way: if they've solved all their problems, it just shows how little they actually know what they're doing. Right? The Fed said we're going to have to take unemployment up to 4.6 to kill demand. Right? To get inflation under control. If they were able to raise interest rates twice and inflation under control, it's kind of like, do you guys know anything? You told us it was going to take a year or 2 years. You're going to bring the unemployment rate from 3.6 up to 4.6, right? Now it's down to 3.5, and yet if all our problems are solved, no. I think there's more to come with this one. This was a level we drew yesterday, talking about having it come down, and look, we just tagged off of it. it's a level. I'm not ready to take it long. It's not a big enough level for me to be able to like, hey, let's go. But it is going to, right? You are going to have a 1030. Buddy, there's your kind of 1030 for today. So do we get a retracement? Probably a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be enough. That's funny. Even with pulling this down, you can see that we weren't able to get up to 23. But if this is the bottom, and again, I'll remove this. If it is the bottom, look what just came into focus, though. Right at the 23.6. So, yeah, that's interesting. If that is the bottom today for a 1030 reversal, there is some levels up there now that do make sense. But again, we do have to chunk through the 94, and again, the 94 is a big psychological level, so we got to kind of get through that. Oh, did you drop your ball again? Here. Did you drop your ball again? Here. Oh, somebody's getting tired. Are we ready for morning nap? Yeah, you're ready for morning nap already, huh? All right. So, interesting scenario. Needs to get a little bit more movement for me before I'm interested to step into dollar Swiss. And again, yesterday was the nice trade. And again, 1030 reversal. Dollar yen. Dollar yen also, again, we mentioned this one. We talked about 1030. We mentioned 23.6 being the close proximity. We talked about Harry Potter. We didn't get the entry. It just went down and came right back up again. And then still continue to base in that level. Based again, popped off the top, based again, popped in the top. We'll remove it right now just to kind of clear it up. Let's see. How about this? We knew look at this little level. All right, buddy. The Europeans took this one over here. Kind of looks the same. So right now, let's see. Let's bring this down. Look at that. We're really, really close. We never got our entry there. It did turn on it, though. It did turn right on the entry. So this is what we're looking with right now. I mean, if we have any more weakness in this, there's nothing really slowing the sucker down until we get really, really all the way down here, right? So, let's say that there's a 23.6. You're going to have people stepping in. This is an interesting level being snug right here with a 50. But also, there could be a nice little trap here because look at this movement. So I'd say I'm going to draw this here. Oops, not long. Yeah, buddy. Somebody's pissed. He's tired. Right there. Right, there's what that looks like. And again, I think it will turn and bounce right off that 50 the first time. Question is, with this type of racetrack, is when this level finally breaks, is it going to give us the return all the way back? What? Come here. What? Come here. We're not going to hit the keyboard, though. We're not going to hit the keyboard. Here, play with Sophie, but we're not going to hit the keyboard today. Yeah, so look for it. Like I said, I think the euro and the pound plays are better for me than this one. Again, this is a proxy between the dollar and the stock market. With it rallying up again, it's 10.13. We could get that reversal if it's nothing but straight up, right? If it's straight up, that's where that reversal comes in, and this price is right around 132, right? And again, everybody knows this. Downtrend setup, right? Downtrend setup as we pull back. So it is coming into the range with that downtrend setup scenario. And if we can get fib traders to jump in on with us, again, that just adds, even more to it. So, again, continued dollar weakness. Obviously, you're seeing Bitcoin go. As you guys can see, it rolled back. And again, it was faster. I drew the arrow right, but instead of taking a little bit too much time, taking a little bit longer, it just did it to here. So instead of this, it did it here. Right, but the bottom was exactly the same. And again, where that roll was, I'd say right now with the dollar weakness, the PPI, it is justified to go higher. So yeah, I mean, it makes complete sense. Ethereum should look exactly the same as well. Yep. Yeah, this one pulled back. It didn't go retrace all the way back down again. No, we're not going to play with this microphone. No. Not going to happen. Dogecoin, also the same thing. Yeah, this is what happens when you tell a 10-month-old no. Here. Do you want this? What is this? What is that? Can you eat that? Is that something that you can eat? It can go in your mouth, definitely. Again, Doji, nice spike up. PPI is bringing it back down a little bit as well. Let's go over commodities. So Here you go from yesterday. Let's get this in order here. All right, so we can take all this stuff out now. We had this pushed down. Hold on, get all this off and off and off. Now, this is an interesting run up yesterday too, because here was the, again, we got the initial push down again, right? We talked about the reversal, right? The reversal came in, where did it came in down in here, right, on the small 5-minute chart, and then it did nothing but rally. Now, if you guys didn't catch it or not, there was a monstrous amount of supply that came into the market. 5.5 million barrels, right? Higher than what we thought. Now, it did get really, really close just a little while ago, right? We came back up and we mentioned that these were kind of our two areas if there's any long type of scenarios, that 94.38 would be an area of sellers and 96.06 would be an area of sellers. Now, we kind of got close. It kind of rolled back in the US-based session. And again, some of that is that PPI number kind of coming in right now. But the real question is what's going to happen. And again, I think this is starting to turn into a Russian story at this point. But again, nice movement off. Everybody was trying to get short yesterday. And it was funny. Literally, they drove the price down just in time for the news release. And it was a horrible news release. And everybody that sold it at the bottom, literally, it was after a large, and again, this is, you guys know this, after a large run in price down, you typically don't want to be the seller, even if the news is bad. And then went straight back up again, stabilized, chewed through that level, and went a little bit higher. So right now, I'd say, hey, listen, if we can get up just a little bit more, I think up to that 94 level, I think it turns into a sell. It's only 20 cents, so it doesn't require that much movement. It's there. I think we go a little bit higher. I mean, where it turned, there's a small little hiccup, but nothing that I'd be like, whoa, that was a great place to sell. Wait for it to get a little bit higher and stabilize. I will say, though, yesterday did provide one thing for us. I'm trying to get to the mouse, but I'm fighting a toddler right now. No. Yeah, you eat that piece. Nope. He loves the pull, like the headphones off on my ears. Nope. Stop. Nope. Let's say that we have one of these scenarios. Do you need something else that you're not supposed to eat? Yeah, I know. You're so tired. If you would just lay your head down, you would go to sleep. Yesterday's news obviously provided a racetrack type scenario for us. So I will say, I'm just going to drag this up just to recycle it. If we do have a break of 91.23, again, kind of looking to get short oil no matter what at this point. I would like it to go just a little bit higher. I think 94 is cleaner, but if we do rally back down again, there is a base at that 91, kind of like 30-ish level. If we do break through the bottom, because of yesterday's news, there was a racetrack scenario. So as we come down, we drop through, we base, we pull back again. 91.23 is going to be the area to pop a short in there. And, again, I think that could kick in for tomorrow as well. We do have one trading day left. So if this deteriorates just a little bit, kind of reversing what we saw today, we're up 1.2%, not tons, right? But if we do see the reversal, that's where it comes back in. And we really kind of just end the week from where we started. So it's not, it's not anything earth shattering. I would love to say that like I have a crystal ball for this one, but it's nothing earth shattering. We're just kind of returning back to kind of what the average was for the week. All right. Kind of the median. Right. And again, this is a lot of news manipulation is all that was. Now, natural gas also continuing to go up. We talked about a level here and we didn't kind of price it out, but you can see we kind of pushed up and then just kind of chop. I would say this one is a similar scenario. Again, looking for kind of a reversal back again. We do have inventories today, so inventories will affect it a little bit. Inventories in natural gas don't have the same, I would say it doesn't have the same power, right, as what oil does. But it is, no, stop, get down. Come on. He literally just poked me in the eye. Here, play with the ball. Get Sophie. Yeah, it's definitely nap time. So we'll see how well the noise canceling works at this point. So this is what happens when Melissa books, meetings. Go ahead, play with that. So here we go. I would say watch out, and this one is a little bit weird. So obviously a zone right here. Again, if it comes down, it is kind of a racetrack setup, but you got this right here. So it could potentially base in this zone, come back down again, hit this level. Again, there are buyers sitting right here. Obviously, it based and then popped off of it, and then again pops up, and then goes back down to this level down here at 794. Okay, so last time we were down here, 794 did provide a good short. It came up and chopped through the second time, and again, we're not typically taking the gaps the second time, but if it does come back down again, there could be potential buyers kind of sitting there, hugging there. So I would say today we're up 2%, but I would say right now with the way that these tops forms, we have a red, green, and again, we have an official red, green, red. The trigger is in. The question is, can we get through the level of basing here? Does it bounce off of it? Does it base in it and break through it? Again, it gives us the ability to, again, take this one back short, kind of bringing us back down to kind of where we started. I mean, there's where we ended last week, right? If we push down from here, and we kind of settle right here, which absolutely in 24 hours we could do. Let me change the color of this just so it makes sense. All we did was we did nothing for the week, because here's where we ended last week if we can get right back down again. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. Nothing's really changed. You know, one day Russia turns the gas off. The next day they turn it back on again. So I would say right now, definitely more bearish focused here. Now gold. Gold is up again. Yesterday, you know, again, we saw the push back down again. We saw the big spike. Let's see. 1030 is right there. Okay, so 1030 was more or less the top, and we said, hey, listen, expect a bit of a roll. 1030 is right there. It's the green. So it was the peak after the initial burst. We pushed back down again. All the Europeans did was say, no, 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 and Europeans stepped in right there. Okay. Europeans kind of knew, right? They knew PPI was going to be horrible. They did the same thing yesterday. All it did was drive it right back up into that same level. We missed the 1800 by just a little bit, and actually PPI drove it down a little bit, right? So you may say, wait a second, why the heck is it doing this way? It's because the Europeans already made all the money on it, okay? They already made all the money on it. So right now I would say gold, I'm a little bit more bearish. Again, we're on the bottom side of 1800. We are basing. We are obviously having a lot of problems punching through higher, and we're sitting there right now, and we're sitting at 1030 where we've already seen the big push up, profit taking coming in. The news justifies higher, but everybody knows that the news justifies higher. Oh, where did he go? Oh, Melissa must be done her meeting because the child is missing. The child is gone. So yeah, I would expect this one to turn and kind of roll and push back down again. I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of stall out on this one. Oops, not that one. If we stall out, probably in this range right here, wouldn't surprise me, right? Again, just a push back down, the same kind of roll. And if you look to see, you know, what's tomorrow, consumer sentiment, but that's not going to necessarily be a gauge of necessarily inflation, right? So it's there, but you know, again, it's not one of those ones where I'm like super worried about it. It's like, oh, this is going to go crazy. I think this one kind of comes back down and stabilizes around the 1784-ish mark, this bottom level, kind of that 50% retracement from here to here, right? Smack in the middle. If you're looking to see what I mean is this right here. See this middle, right where this line is. Okay, I missed it by just a little tiny bit, but I'm only human. Okay, silver, again. Yeah, yesterday. Let's see. 1030 was right there. 1030 is the green. It was the peak. We mentioned it. We mentioned the roll. Push back down again, based, and we're still stuck in the same level. So exactly what we just talked about is kind of what we're seeing here. Now, silver, if gold is going to start to turn, silver should also head lower. It is red on the day, and gold is just up just kind of like a little bit. But I wouldn't really say, looking at this, you know, it's down just because from where we closed yesterday. I wouldn't say that it's really trending in either direction. It is popping. And same thing, we talked about all the basing in here. We talked about potential buyers stepping in right here. And what do they do? Buyers stepped in right here, and we just hit it again. So those buyers will collapse, but at the same time, again, there's a step right below it as well. So overall, I'd say bearish silver as well. Of the two, I like the gold setup. The silver one has already moved a bit, but you can see how powerful being 1030 is of when it turns. Okay? Let's go over to the indices. VIX. You could say, oh God, the VIX is up 1%. Is it? Is it? Not really. I mean, it opened, yeah, I mean, like literally from where it opened today, it's up a little bit, little pinch, right? Let's see. No. From the revised level, revised down. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the VIX it's not really up, but it is. All right, let's go down to 15 minutes. Let's see if we had any opening print setups. Looks like maybe. Yeah, 930 is where it pulled down. Unfortunately, it didn't pull into a zone. Yeah, it pulled back. I mean, you were looking for long off the open, but it really didn't pull back into kind of a definable zone. Would love to say, hey, listen, there you go. Awesome trade setup. It didn't really give us a definable zone. It was really just straight up. Yeah, I mean, look at the Europeans knew what was happening. Yeah, Europeans started kicking it in here. So the European reversal is there. Actually, let's use the right Make sure we stay with the right. Sorry, right there. There was your reversal. So the Europeans went boop. It hit their reversal time and shot straight up again. It gave us the pullback to tell us that, hey, listen, this is probably a long, and then up. So yeah, I would say on a fundamental basis, this would have been a long today. It did. Obviously, the news drove it right back down again into the open, but it didn't pull back to a zone. So I can't say that this was an opening print for today. NQ. Looked exactly the same. Again, 5:30 reversal in the morning from the European session. Again, I bet there's one on a 5, but we're not using it. Yeah, there it is. You could say that there was your zone on a 5, and it pulled back in, and 9:30 is the red candle. This one is. I would say that this one is easier to see because of the way that the wick was formed. It's there. It's here too. Right. I mean, you could say on a 5-minute, there's your level of basing, there's your pullback. So again, typically the rules we use for that one are 15 minutes. You could see a wick there, and remember, a wick is just showing you that there was movement during that time. Again, we could see it if you drop down to find what the actual zone was and you block the zone off. Yes, okay. So, I mean, this is one of those ones where if I drew it on both of these, there's your 1 to 3. It's out. If I did it on NQ, whoops, not that one. And this is 3.03. So you see how when you go to the lower time frame, you're able to find these. So again, on a 15-minute, you can see the wick. You're like, oh, there's something there. Yeah, there's something there. It's why a wick over wick is important. It's a pullback on a lower time frame. So again, if you understand how to read the candles, you can see it. Again, the strategy is based off the 15s, but again, if you understand from the masterclass what the wick over wick behind the wall, wick against the wall, what all those things mean, you should understand that sometimes you need to drop. So had you dropped down and done the extra research on it, yes, both of these would have entered. They both would have went 1 to 3. But again, just keeping it on a simple form, you wouldn't have seen it. This one, same thing. There's a wick there. Again, Europeans sent it up. Let's see if it's the same setup. Yeah, it's the same setup. This one did go a little bit lower, though. I will say that one did go a little bit. So futures traders would have got stopped on that one. Nadex-wise, you would have been fine. And again, obviously blew it out. Even if we take the extra risk on there, right? Even if we took the extra risk, there's the 1 to 3. So again, would have required you to go down. Yeah. So, yep. Let's check Russell. I don't think Russell even had the pullback. 9:30 is here. Nah, Russell didn't even have the pullback. I'm telling you, Russell's what ruins it for everybody. That's why we can't have nice things. Yeah, Russell, it was basing, but it never even gives us a pullback. So Russell was no entry. So absolutely didn't matter how much research you did, the Russell would not have given you an entry today. ES, NQ, YM, all would have given it to you. You had to recognize, though, that, hey, listen, there's, I'm going to delete it so you guys can see it, but in looking at this, right, you had to look at this and be like, wait a second. This 8:30 news candle, I should probably go in more because there's a wick that pushed all the way down. It's green, but what happened with this wick? And then when you drop it down to a 5-minute, that's where you can see where the bottom of this goes, right? There to there. And you can see, did not get stopped out. So even futures traders would have been able to trade this one and been fine. Risk on it was pretty tiny. Yeah. So, yep. Yep. So again, not bad. Again, if you did your extra research, you were 3 out of 4 on entries, 3 out of 3 on full profit targets. Russell obviously was not there. It was gone. Russell did its thing today. What else we got here? Twitter. Let's go for a 30-minute. Twitter having some problems, but I would say that Twitter is a little bit more on the high side. If things do turn negative today, it looks like Twitter will take it. Apple continuing to grind higher, and again, it's an Apple kind of day. It's definitely getting a pullback now. Curious if this one is going to turn and roll. By the way, it's kind of giving it. It's not really moving much. It's up from where it closed, but the movement this morning has not really been great. Tesla, again, came up. Look at this. Just came up and literally grabbed where the turning point was yesterday, right? Opened up there and then pushed back down. Again, if these all turn negative, they're all kind of in areas right now. These 3 biggies, right? Tesla, Apple, and Twitter. They're all kind of in areas where it's like, this looks like it's starting to roll, and it is 10:30. This is when it rolls. Yeah, it's $1 doing right now. Yeah, dollars in that level again, right? Dollars in that level. So yeah, we'll see. I'd hate for it to be red today, but I mean that would lead into a Friday that was pretty decent. So anyway, so like I said, watch tomorrow morning. There will be pound plays, kind of see where the market closes and then reopens later on tonight. There should be, again, you should be able to see this one get close to kind of an overnight type trade. Obviously, European Open at 2 would be the best. But in the overnight, look to see if this is driving towards any zones. It could give you a telltale sign. And the fact that it's a little bit farther out, it can be a set and forget type trade scenario, even with Nadex. So again, these are big ones. It's expected to be negative. Remember, there's 3 outcomes. There's a miss of the top side. There's a as expected. And then there's a miss of the downside. Right now, it's expected to be horrible. So if it comes in horrible, that just justifies that it is horrible. If it comes in not as horrible, again, sorry, let me go back. If it comes in as expected, that's one of those scenarios where the market has already factored it in, but all the retail traders are like, oh my God, it's bad, when it's not, right? It's actually good. Right? If it comes in less than expected, obviously that's another one that is good. If it comes in worse than expected, again, we already knew it was going to be bad. You tend to have not as great of movement off of that one. Like I said, that's the third option. If it's worse than expected, then you'll definitely see some more pound weakness as it reacts. So again, look to see what the price action looks like. Look to see if you're driving into levels. There should be some trade setups on that one as well. With that, let's go ahead and do our drawing today. Wow, Neuro wants to win today. Neuro, aren't you on number 2? Oh, I guess you got 100 yesterday, Neuro. Yes. Okay, now I know why you're in with 10. I was like, wait a second, why the heck? I'm like, didn't he just win 1 yesterday? But I forgot, you were going for 2 yesterday. You had 7 and Ernest had, or you had 6 and Ernest had 7 or something like that. And you got your 100 chips yesterday. It was a close race. So you're going for your 250 today. So you're going all in. Looks like everybody else is kind of giving it to you. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the odds are in Neuro's favor. Let's see if the roulette wheel works, right? Let's see if the roulette wheel works. Actually, hold on one second. I feel like, nope, stop. Everything's going crazy with my phone. Why is it doing it that way? Got it. I don't need to switch to creator mode. Let's do this. Let's do something here. I'm gonna even the odds here, guys, right? There we go. All right. So it's official. I'm in. Let's see. If I win, we know it's rigged. All right. I'm closing it down. All right. Winner of today's drawing is Nero. Couldn't beat him. Couldn't beat him. Even with adding the +1 in there, couldn't beat him. Wah, wah, wah. He has 60% chance of winning. Come on, guys. It's statistics. We all know how that works. Again, always put statistics on your side, right? Always put statistics on your side. Where is Neuro? Ooh, I think Neuro's going to overtake Debbie. I think Neuro's overtaking Debbie. Boom, look at that. He took wow, he's up by a little bit. About 125. So yeah, Neuro needed that 3. Oof, Debbie, you got to stop being nice, Debbie. Stop being nice. It's time to put the hammer down, Debbie. Put the hammer down. Yep, look at that. Taking it. Oh, there you go. There's the natural gas one. So natural gas came in higher than expected. Let's look at that real fast. Then I got to get rolling. Yeah, look at that. Came in higher than expected, right? Let's see what natural gas did as a result. Yeah, we talked about negative. So yeah, that kind of helps a little bit. So we'll see how that rolls through on the day. But yeah, it came down, found those buyers there, but it was another stab into that level. So again, even with the natural gas inventories, getting the movement. Getting the movement. So, all right, with that said, I'm out of here. Remember, I will not be on tomorrow. Like I said, driving 4 hours today, coming back, have mom's appointment at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, so I will not be able to get in. But we will be back on Monday morning, unless there's anything. Obviously, she has a reaction, but that should be 4 or 5 days afterwards. So she should be okay by Monday. But yep. See you guys on Monday. Everybody have a great, safe weekend. Stay hot, stay cool wherever you guys are. Be safe, everybody. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks for joining today. Take care.